Hey all, welcome to SLB Basement Bourbon Bar. My name is Kurt and I'm here with Trenton. Hoping you all had a wonderful Christmas and happy holidays to each and every one of you. And today, Trenton, big day.
Big day.
Yeah, you know.
Huge.
It's huge. You know why? Because we're getting into bourbon.
Allocated.
We're finally getting into bourbon in our top 5 of 2022. And today's show, as Trenton mentioned, is our top 5 allocated bourbon of 2022.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts?
I'm excited.
I have to admit, Trenton's the one that brought most of these home, if probably not all of them.
Yeah.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
I think I might have gotten 1 or 2 allocated this year, and if I say 3, I'm probably stretching it just a touch.
Yeah.
Probably. So, Trenton knows these a whole lot more than I do, so as we go along in this video...
Well, don't be putting me on the spot now.
I'd like for you, because honestly though, Trenton, when I was putting this video together, I really don't know pricing and things like that, so I'm going to be referring to you. Are you okay?
Just got glass in my hand.
Well, I wonder how that happened.
Yep.
Yeah, Trenton broke a wine bottle.
Smashed it.
Just...
It exploded.
everywhere.
It smelled good down here, though.
Bubbled.
Just got a little spike in my hand there.
Oh, you'll be all right.
We're all right.
Yeah, you'll be fine. All right, moving along here. Moving along. So I'm going to be referring to you for pricing and things like that because I have no idea. Okay, buddy. So number 5. All right.
Yep.
Now number 5. Now here's how we went about this. We had Trenton, myself, my brother Kent, and my good friend Justin. When it came to our bourbons for our top 5 of 2022, we all tasted a bunch of bourbon.
I think 15 or 20 different allocated
it was
bourbons to figure out what everybody thought.
Right.
And at the end of the day, we all were on the same page for the picks that we had. There were some disagreements, but we ended up working those out, and we came up with a top 5 that's
we had a specific scoring system, and this was all in agreement with all 4 of us. So it wasn't just myself or just Trenton or the both of us. There was 4 of us involved with the bourbon picks for this show and the non-allocated show. So altogether, we chose as number 5 Blood Oath pack number 8, Trenton, finished in Calvados casks. This particular bottle is a blend of 3 high rye bourbons. I did find this out.
okay.
I did find it out. 14-year-old, 11-year-old, and an 8-year-old.
Really?
Yep. High rye bourbon blend, and then finished in Calvados cask or apple brandy casks.
Did you get the percentages, or did they list that?
I didn't get the percentages.
Okay.
I did not, and I didn't find it listed somewhere. If somebody knows that, please leave it in the comments for us.
I loved this bottle.
I know.
And I will be honest. The past couple releases of Blood Oath have been good, but they haven't really been anywhere near top 5 or even top 10 in my opinion.
No, I agree.
So I was glad
Yes.
that this made it, because the apple finish, the Calvados finish on this is
wonderful.
It's perfectly balanced with the bourbon.
It was a spectacular job from the folks at Lux Row. What an amazing... This is the best I've had.
Yeah.
For these Blood Oath.
Yeah, you have 4, 5, 6, 7.
Yeah, and my
8.
brother has some too.
Okay.
And this is the best one I've had. I really love it. I love the apple influence. Now, I poured
Oh, that's right.
both of us little samples of each one. So starting from your left to right, your left is the Blood Oath.
And I haven't had this since we reviewed it.
Yeah, it's been a while, and a lot of people have been down here and shared it. A lot of people want to try it. It's 98.6 proof. How much was this bottle, Trent? It was $100, I think?
$119.
$119.
Yeah, they raised it a couple bucks this year, but
That's right.
it's not like a double price jump like you saw with Midwinters or anything like that. So, and I've heard one of my buddies from South Carolina said that these are still. He said, "Hey, I can get you a Blood Oath for $120 or $130 like today or yesterday."
Wow.
So I don't know if these are still available in parts of the country, but if you see one, definitely pick it up. It's fantastic.
Yeah, it's wonderful, honestly. Trent and I don't know if you remember, but when we did this video and we did the tasting, your tasting note was Apple Jacks cereal.
Yeah.
I don't know if you remember that or not, but I you're spot on, really.
Yeah.
I mean, that's...
And usually
that's
I'm not with my tasting notes, so this is a big win for me.
When I sip that, I can tell I'm sipping on a high rye bourbon, because you got a little bit of that rye spice there, but boy, that apple influence comes across in a very nice, sweet way, like a breakfast cereal, like Trenton says, Apple Jack cereal. It was just wonderful. So I'm really glad that made it into our top 5 Great choice. Next one we have on the list is an Old Forester single barrel, but this is actually a barrel pick from one of our local liquor stores, Triangle Liquors. So I put it in the allocated because not many people's going to have the opportunity to buy that since it's local to one of our stores. And
even like the single barrel picks are still few and far between. You don't see them very often. And even when you do, like, these are $80-$90 MSRP. Mm-hmm. Somebody sent me a message the other day where they're like, hey, if you want one of these, I can get you one for $250.
Wow.
I was like, no, I'm okay.
Yeah, what did they have this at the store for? Do you remember?
$79 or $89.
I was going to say, I thought it was about $80.
It was limit too.
Yeah, and dumb me, I didn't get two. I just got one. So, however, in talking to the manager there, Mike, he specifically said when he went to Old Forester, he said, I really want a dynamic blend of Old Forester birthday bourbon in 1920. And that's what he was trying to get at when he was tasting barrels in Trenton. This is just fantastic. It is the best Old Forester single barrel I've ever had.
Yeah. And a little bit on a somber note, Trail In Triangle is actually going out of business. They've been purchased by a different company. So Mike, if you're watching this was a fantastic pick, and we thank you for everything that you've done. And,
absolutely,
and everything.
Mike. Wish you all the best.
Pick.
But I think you're silly for what you're doing. But all the best. No, I'm just kidding. This is spectacular, though. It's maple syrup all over the place. It's got some lovely flavors to it. It's just spectacular. It's phenomenal. It's 127.5 proof.
So dark.
It's just wonderful.
And it drinks like it's proof.
Yeah.
It makes me get a little going on.
Yeah,
but it's so well balanced.
Oh,
and it's not like you get kicked too hard by the alcohol. It balances nicely.
You get the sweet flavor. Notes. You get some dark notes in there with some dark baking spice in there too. It was a great pick, Mike. Honestly, fantastic. All right, number three. Number three was surprised by Trenton. He surprised me on this one because I kind of pulled it out of nowhere one day, and I said, "Boy, I'd really like to have that." And he's like his mother. He notched that away way back in his brain, and he came home one day with this Wild Turkey 12-year. And Trent, you're going to have to explain it because I know nothing about this bottle.
So I don't know if you can see this on the back here, but this is a Japanese only or a non-U.S. market release. These are about $100 overseas if you can find them, and they're fantastic. I'm not usually a huge Wild Turkey fan as much as you are. I like Wild Turkey, but this is just so good.
As I stated in the video that we had when we did this bottle review,
that got better over time.
Yeah, it's opened up beautifully. Wow. It is 101 proof like your Wild Turkey 101. To me, that drinks in like 92 or 3, 92, 95 proof. Very it drinks under the 101 proof. But it is truly Wild Turkey 101 times 3. You get those wonderful caramel toffee notes with that beautiful oak note that I just love in Wild Turkey 101. This is a spectacular bottle, a surprise from Trenton, so I thank you for that. That made it to number 3 on our list. So moving on, number 2. These top 2 was a juggling act.
It was.
It could have went either way. These are so good, but our group, we came up with Heaven Hill 17-year as number 2 on our list for 2022. And Trent, again, I apologize. I know nothing about this bottle per se, other than it's 118.2 proof. That's all I know.
So Heaven Hill has come out. This is I think it's their Heritage Collection. They've come out with a 27-year as well. I think this was last year. Never in my life thought I would see any Heaven Hill Heritage collections because I think the 27 wasn't available in Indiana at the time.
Okay.
I think this was like, I want to say $159, $179, around that price point. I think it was like $10 per year of age.
Really? All right then.
And it's a blend.
I'll be honest with you. $200 or less is a good buy for this bottle.
Oh, it's so good.
This is spectacular.
So we got 28% of a 20-year straight bourbon whiskey. We got 44% straight bourbon whiskey 19-year-old and 28% 17-year-old. So you're getting more 20 and 19-year-old than you are getting 17-year-old in this bottle. And it's a heck of a bargain for what you get in the bottle.
Unbelievable, really. I mean, it has that dusty characteristics, old leather books type, as we talk about once in a while with very old bourbons. But also it has some beautiful sweet notes to it too.
I'm getting like a pear Jelly Belly or something. I mean, I'm serious.
Pear Jelly.
What do they call prickly pear or whatever? You like those, the pear ones?
I love those. Are my favorite.
Yeah.
Pear Jelly Bellies are my favorite, right, babe?
Yep.
Yep, they are.
If you work at Jelly Belly, or if you're a Jelly Belly CEO or something, we'd love to talk to you. But yeah, I really do.
That's fantastic.
It's like a spicy, or like a baking spices with like some pear action.
Yeah. I know you're going to be surprised at this one, Trenton, because I really tried to hone in a few tasting notes for the show, and I get chocolate chip cookie coming out of that. Chocolate chip cookie. Now, I can get you with a little bit of a fruit note there, too, but kind of in mid-palate.
Chocolate chip cookie.
Mid-palate. Up front, I get those dusty notes that we spoke about. Mid-palate, though, I come in with chocolate chip cookie, bro. And I know you like a chocolate chip cookie.
I just had one
from Chick-fil-A.
Oh, Chick-fil-A cookies.
I know.
If you work at Chick-fil-A, we'd love to talk to you. I could see a little bit of a chocolate chip cookie influence, but I more or less I get the fruity pear kind of thing.
And I get you. That's a good note. That's it. Overall, though, what a complex, wonderful sipper.
Yeah,
really, what a great buy for you this year. All right, finally, last but not least, our number one. It is, to me, Trenton, one of the best sips I've had in 2022. The Old Fitzgerald Bottle and Bond, the Spring Edition, 17-year.
Yep.
Of course, 100 proof. I apologize again, Trenton. I have no idea what that cost.
About $170.
Again, it is such a great bourbon.
Yeah.
That's something you'll have on the shelf for quite some time, especially if you quit bringing it down here.
Yeah, I got to take it home because since I've brought it here, this was like up to here when I brought it here, and it's down considerably.
Well, I had to be very prepared for this show.
Uh-huh.
I had to be prepared.
It seems like you've gotten very prepared. It wouldn't surprise me if you drain the bottle and just put something else in it.
That's not true at all. I would never do that. I want you to take a sip of this one, though. This Old Fitzgerald Bottle of Bond.
So did you put two and two together that these are both Heaven Hill?
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
I do know that, but I didn't have it in my mind to mention that in the video. Good on you. 1 and 2 are both Heaven Hill.
So I was when I saw these and was given the opportunity to purchase them, I was like, okay, the 17-year Heritage Collection and the 17-year-old Fitzgerald, like how different are they actually going to be?
Well, this is wheated.
It is wheated, and this is blended.
Correct.
So I quickly realized my mistake when I asked that question. I said, I'll buy it, put it on my bill, whatever.
Yeah.
But this was, and we just recently got the 19-year-old Old Fitzgerald. Thank you, Harry. And we really talked about if we actually also got the Parker's Double Barrel. So we talked about if those could beat any of these. In our opinion, it came close, but not enough to nudge any of these out of the place that we picked them in originally.
Yeah, take your sip, Trenton.
I'm not.
No, you're good. But I just want you to know. I'm curious to know if we're on the same page with this. But for me, this particular bottle, the nose carries through to the palate, and what I love about this, it's just like toffee for days. I mean, for days. It's soft on the palate because it's a wheated bourbon too. It's very soft, luscious on the palate, and toffee for days. I just love that. I love it.
I get more of like
of course,
almost like an apricot-y, or like if
good.
Do you remember those? They used to come in like these silver cans. It was like a little. It was an Altoid. It was like the apricot Altoids, and they were sour. It reminds me of that.
Well, I will tell you this. You might be surprised, but I swear this is true. Toffee for days is actually my tasting note for this. But towards the finish in the back of the palate, I actually have wrote down apricot.
All right.
I know, that's shocking, isn't it?
Well, that makes me feel a little bit less crazy with my...
No, I swear to you. Yes, absolutely. I get it towards the back of the palate and into the finish. A little bit of that apricot note too.
Yeah.
which balances everything out, makes it a little bit more complex. It's just a beautiful sip. It really, really is.
What I like is that it's so well balanced. Like I don't know if it's because we've been tasting a wide range of proofs, but this drink's so smooth and it drinks under its proof, I think.
Yep, it's another perspective I had wrote down was soft on the palate.
Yeah,
it is
like velvety, like a
for sure
pillow or something. It's like a pillow on the palate.
Pillow on the palate.
Yeah,
we need to write that. We need to put that in the back of a shirt too.
Yeah,
pillow on the palate. It's excellent. Hey, these were our top 5 for allocated bourbons for 2022. There was a lot to choose from. So many good ones out there. And Trenton, he's a monster when it comes to trying to find allocated bourbons. I mean, come on, man. Seriously.
And I will say, we tried so many different types of bourbons. There were a lot of finished ones, a lot of high proof, low proof, just allocated bourbons that we were able to stumble across this year. And it was splitting hairs for, I think we tried these for 3 or 4 hours.
Well, we were on it for a long time.
And it was like several deep discussions about flavor profiles and proof and price points and all that stuff. And these are ultimately the ones that took the cake. But there were also several other very good allocated bourbons that came out from tons of different distilleries this year that we would love to showcase in different videos. But for the top 5 for us this year, this was a good, tough year. Yeah.
Hey, so don't miss next show.
Yeah.
So that'd be Wednesday, if I'm not mistaken. Correct?
Yes.
Wednesday. Don't miss our next show because it's going to be our top 5 of 2022 non-allocated, and I promise you, there might be something, 1 or 2 in there that are going to really surprise you.
They're going to surprise me because I forgot what our lineup was.
Oh, I did not. So don't be sure not to miss that. It's going to be a great time. As always, we ask you to please drink responsibly, and we'll see you next time with that list in the good old basement bourbon bar. See you later.